Alright, welcome back again, colleagues. Now, as I talked initially, or when I started with our program development issues, here I bring the program material framework. Like I said, the hope is for the framework of our program material to be informed by the important aspects discussed earlier on. We shall strategize our approach as per the guidance of TPAC and community of inquiry model. This will enhance the potential of the learners willing to resit for the BGCS and JC examination. Now, I want you to realize that I've just taken a sample of the science material structure and I've brought this word rebranding. It is very important, ladies and gentlemen, to look at how I've put in or my content. You realize that there's not much that we can say is new, but the only thing that I've done is to change the language that we may have been using all along. This is the aspect that I'm bringing the term rebranding on. Why? One might need to say, what is known of our material so far from the then Bocodol, when you have, when that which we are giving as booklets. We had cases where we had people, more especially the example that I like bringing on board is the one which we saw at Maung, where people had thrown our materials on the bin upon being given them at the region. So I've done what we call rebranding. I know we have rebranded the cover page where we have shifted from the Bocodol to Botswana Open University. Excellent, good job. But we need to also rebrand that which is within, such that when a learner sees this, when even somebody who have done this before sees this material, can see something new and appreciate that, oh, Botswana Open University is coming up with something new, but not where we see the new cover of Botswana Open University and when we go into our material, it takes back or shift our mindset back to Bocodol. So that's why I've decided to rebrand by not necessarily, going far, by tweaking the wording that we have been using in our content of the material or program material. Now you can see that there I have the topic, I have the objective of the lessons, I have what I have brought here maybe new as social context, I have science integration, I have brief deliberation of scientific concept, I have what I call the sample question, I have what I call the sample answer, and I have what I call the student task question before the summary. Then we have definition of terms and resources or further reading. Let's take a lesson that I have used here. I'm not sure if this is visible, but what is trying to say here is, you can see that I have my topic 2, effect of force on motion, and then I have my objectives there written. Then under the effect of force on stationary object, I have what we call the social context. Let me read this social context. It reads as thus: at the bus rank, the combi you are in fails to start. You and one more passenger volunteer to start it. You push at maximum strength, but the combi does not move. A few more passengers get off to help push the combi. With more people pushing, the combi starts moving, but the speed is not enough to start it. Some more passengers get off to join the pushing. Now the combi picks up speed and some few meters ahead the car or the combi starts. Key issues. Notice the following. When only the two you were pushing, the combi did not move. When more people joined you, the combi started to move, but too slow to get it to start. When, the third one, even more people helped, the combi moved fast enough to start. How do we explain this? Let's see what's happening. Now, let me take a pause here to say, what is really this thing I'm talking about here, saying social context, giving this example? You would see that my context here, it's something that I'm expecting almost every learner or every student to know. It's already embedded in their knowledge. It's something that I'm just stimulating what is already in their knowledge, what they already know. That's what I'm doing. In a classroom setting, I'm appreciating the social knowledge that they are bringing on board as they come to class by this thing of social context. Now look at what I've done. I've extracted key things that I would like as a facilitator to use for me to bring in the new knowledge to the learner. That's what I call the key issues. I extract from the social context the issues that I can now use to bring in the new knowledge, and let those things help me to propel my learner into the scientific space. That's what I'm going to use these key issues for. Now, scientific integration, we have learned in lesson 1. I'm now reflecting to what they have done, that when you push, you are applying a force. I'm now bringing the scientific aspects now into the science. They were pushing. Now I'm showing them that when they push, from the previous lesson, pushing is applying force. We will call this force applied force, or F subscript A. Whenever a force is applied on an object, a new force is activated, which pushes the object in the opposite direction. When the two guys started to push this car, they exerted a certain force, but the force they were exerting, if we talk about the new force, was equal to the force that the car was exerting on them. In that case, this car would not move. Activated, which pushes the object in the opposite direction. They are pushing this car this direction. The force of the car is pushing against them. This force is called friction force, the one which is resisting the car from going. When only the two of you were pushing, the combi did not move. This is because your total FA, applied force, is less than FF, frictional force. When more people helped, FA increased to be more than FF. When people came off from the combi to help you push, now the force applied becomes more than the frictional force which is being exerted or activated by the car itself. Now, the combi moved, we say, is accelerated, increasing FA further, caused the combi to accelerate more. What have we established so far? Force can make a stationary object remain stationary if applied force is less than frictional force, that is FA less than FF. No acceleration. Acceleration, or acceleration that is moved, is acceleration move in the direction of applied force. If applied force is greater than frictional force, that is Fa greater than Ff, there is acceleration. What makes the combi object to move? Let's see. When more of you push the combi, part of your applied force was used to overcome friction and the combi was able to start moving. The remaining part of your applied force was used to keep the combi moving. We are introducing a new force right there. We call this new force the resultant force, Fr. This is the force that makes the subject to accelerate, move. Now, can you see the relationship between the three forces? Applied force minus friction force gives you resultant force. That is an example of what I have been talking, ladies and gentlemen, about the knowledge that the learner brings on board. I want to take this time to stop here because this is just the new part, which is I think I've introduced on lesson planning or on preparing a lesson. But otherwise, others, like I was saying, it's just the rebranding, bring a new terminology, but all in all, the things are the same. Thank you for your cooperation, for your listening, and I'm hoping I shall be getting feedback from you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it.